we're still in that two-dimensional ratio and want to go to the one-dimensional ratio, 2 to 3. Take that square root. And now it's very easy to set up our proportion. My small side is 8, my large side is unknown, times 4, x is 12, and this one's all in centimeters. Up here, the ratio of two similar figures given, write the ratio of the corresponding sides. My area, my two-dimensional, is 16 to 81, so take the root of that, 4 to 9. 5 to 196, or 25 to 196, so 5 to 14. 144 to 49, 12 to 7. Just taking the square roots. Not so bad. Not so bad. Moving right along to our circles. Now, you've got the measure of the arc, and you got the measure of the arc length. Measure of the arc is going to be a degrees situation. Measure of the arc length is going to be like a meters, in this case, situation. So they want EFG. They want this arc right here, labeling it. This is important. This is 80. These two are congruent, so this is also 80. Anyway, EFG is going to be 160 degrees, or 80 times 2. EHG is going to be what's left, so if it's 360, and I've got 160 right here, then I have 200 left for my back end. Length of EFG, so I have 160 degrees. That is a portion of my total 360 degrees. My circumference is going to be 14 pi, and I have an unknown piece of that. I'm going to take, drop the zeros, they're both divisible by 4, so I'll have a 4 to 9 once I get that done. And I will get 56, 14 pi, 56 pi, and then 9x. Take that 9, divide it off, and I will get 56 pi over 9. What a terrible number. I'm going to leave it, though, from that distance. The length of EHG. What I'm going to do here, this is this much. I know the total is 14 pi. So I'm going to take 14 minus off 56 over 9. That times pi in meters is that distance. So I got the whole circumference, take off part of it. If the key gives it to you in decimals, you can punch that out in the calculator. I'm going to leave it. I've got EHF. The whole thing is 14 pi, and I want half of this, so instead of 56, I'm going to go 28, and that's pi meters. Oh, got fooled. Measure of an arc angle. Don't get fooled like that. They want the measure of this arc angle. EHF, that's going to be 280 degrees. That almost got real bad. So, arc angle, 280. Length of FEG, length of that whole thing, that's what we're going to take, 14 pi. This is the total. I'm just going to leave it like that. Minus, and this is going to be that 28 over pi. Actually, this one is going to be that 28 over pi because they want you to go FEG. So instead of 56, we want half of that, 28 pi over 9. And this is all in meters. Alright, so measure of the arc angle, degrees, measure of the arc length, meters. Be careful, it's easy to get confused. They want to know the measure of this angle, AB. Set up my proportion here. I've got a unknown degree out of 360, but I have a known arc length, 23.88, over a total circumference of 24 pi. All I'm going to do is punch this out in the calculator and then multiply by 360. So I've got 23.88, and remember that you need to wrap this up with parentheses when you divide it out, divided by 24 pi, and that way it multiplies the 24 and the pi together. Multiply that by 360, and I'll get 114. I'm going to go to their decimal place, 0.02 degrees. 114.02. This should be a degree symbol. Find the circumference. 290 over 360, this was the angle that I was given, is equal to 467.5 over an unknown circumference. I'm going to drop those zeros, make my life a little bit easier, and we'll cross multiply. That'll give me 29x equals some number, divide that number by 29. So I'll get 4675 times 36, divide by 29, and I've got x is equal to 58.03 feet. This one, I know I've got 55 degrees. I want to find the radius. 55 degrees over 360 is going to be equal to 1971, and on the bottom I'm going to go 2 pi r, and that will allow me to solve for r without having to take an additional step of finding the circumference setting equal to 2 pi r, just getting it out of the way. So I have 110 pi r is equal to whatever these two numbers are multiplied together. I'm going to divide that 110 off. So I'll have 19.71 times 360. I'm going to divide that. Remember your parentheses, 110 pi. Close those parentheses. Boom. And we'll get r is equal to 20.53. And that's going to be, that does not make any sense. Does it? Yeah, it's good. It's good. R is equal to 20.53. What's that going to be? Centimeters. We're good. Continuing on, because it's just 2 pi r for the circumference. Woo! All right, number 20. Find the perimeter of the region. We got a radius of 5. That means each one of these sides will be 10. So I've got 10, 10, 10, and then 2 pi r over 2. So it's just this area is, the whole circle would be 10 pi. So half of it's going to be 5 pi. And I'll have 30 plus 5 pi. And that's going to be millimeters. This one, I've got this length is 11. That gives me half, or radius would be 5.5, and that makes the whole diameter, again, 11. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. It's going to be one complete circle, so 11 pi for going around the circle, pi d. I've got 2 of these 41s, so 82, and then I've got 2 of these straight sections of 11, so plus 22. These two can go together. I'll get 11 pi plus 104, and this is all in inches. Let me wrap that up. Okay, this one. We've got the bicycle chain problem. How long is the chain? The rear sprocket, what is the C is circumference? The circumference is given. So I'm going to first calculate these two bad boys. I've got 160 over 360 is equal to x over 12. Drop those zeros, make it a little bit easier. I'm going to do 12 times 16 over 360. 12 times 16 over 36 rather. That's going to give me 5 1/3. That's how long this section is. The next thing I'm going to do is the same setup. 185 over 360 is equal to x over 20. Drop a 0 across. So 2 times 185 divided by 36. And that's going to give me, what is that fraction? Oh, gross. We're just going to say 10.3. It's an 18th, some kind of 18th. More importantly, that's how long this section is 10.3 inches. So total, I've got 5 1/3, 10.3. About how long is the chain? That gives me 15. Let's just say 15.6, and then we have a 10. That's going to make it 35.6 inches. About how long? About that long. On the chain, they're about ½ an inch apart, so we take 35.6, we divide it by 0.5, and that's going to give us about 71 teeth. We just take the 35.6 divided by 0.5. They're going to be 71 teeth.